Yo! What's up with you guys? It's your boy here, Jay Venom, the GOAT, the God, the myth, the legend, the undefeated, the motherfucking else, wins bitch. You know my body. Alright, man, so look. Finna go ahead and get to the video. We got the title of the video is The Celtics Are No Joke. Stephen A. Smith reacts to game 1 of the NBA Finals. Alright? So let's go ahead and get into it. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, all the cool stuff. Let me go ahead, share my screen, and then get freaky.
It won him the game. You were there in the building. I just wonder, how do you describe, Stephen A., how it changed as Boston hit 10 straight shots?
Oh, before we even get into the video, how I feel about game 1, Curry came out hot. I thought we were going to win just off, like, the first quarter. At the end of the first quarter, I thought we were going to win because Curry had 21 points at the end of the first quarter. But the problem was, even though Curry had 21 points at the end of the quarter, we were like, you know, it was still a close game. So I'm like, damn, it's still a close game, but Curry doing his thing, and we all know we ended up losing, shit like that. I have the Warriors winning this series in 5. The Celtics, they don't have enough. I don't believe in the Celtics. The Celtics are a hyped up team. They're overrated. They aren't good, okay? Jason Tatum is their best player, but Jason Tatum, I don't even know if Jason Tatum is a top 20 player in the league. And then Jaylen Brown as his second man. Jaylen Brown is ass. You feel what I'm saying? So and on top of that, I have no faith in the Celtics. The Celtics have been the same team every year for the past like 3-4 years. They always do really good in the East, but then they don't make no noise in the playoffs. And then this year for the finals, they're not even supposed to be here. They got an easy walk to the finals. Who they beat? They beat the Nets, but then the Nets got rid of James Harden for Ben Simmons, and Ben Simmons didn't even play. So what the fuck? Then they beat the Bucks. The Bucks didn't even have Chris Middleton. So, and then they beat the Heat, and the Heat are ass. The Heat and the Celtics are the same team. They're good every fucking year, and then when it's time for playoffs, they get butt fucked. So, I don't believe in the Celtics. I have the Warriors winning this in 5. Simple as that.
They made 9 of the first 11 threes they took in the 4th.
I think the appropriate word is scary. You talk about styles making fights. The Boston Celtics know they're bigger. They know that they're more physical. But think about what transpired here in game 1. Steph Curry explodes, 6 threes and 21 points in the first quarter. They hold him to 13 points the rest of the game. Klay Thompson, a relatively pedestrian.
Okay, Stephen A. is making a point that Curry went crazy in the first, but then he only had 13 points for the rest of the game. Honestly, I don't even think that's a point to make. 21 plus 13, what is that? 34 points? He had 34 points at the end of the game. So it doesn't matter that he started off with 21, but then only finished with 34. I don't think that's a story. 34 points in a game is a really good game. It doesn't matter if you drop 34 points in the first quarter and then you don't score for the rest of the game. It literally doesn't matter. 34 points in an NBA game is a good game. It don't matter how you do it. It don't. Now, obviously, now the only thing I will say that matters is how efficient you were. If you drop 34 points, but you shot 20% from the field, that's trash. But if you put up all 34 points in the first quarter and then you don't score again for the rest of the game, that is not a bad performance because 34 points is good points. I mean, like what? Did y'all expect him to average 21 points every fucking quarter? That's literally, what is that? If he averages 21 points all 4 quarters, that's like 84 points. When is the last time an NBA player dropped 84 points? 84 points is not a normal game to have. So just because he did really good in the first quarter and then played like shit the rest of the game, that doesn't mean he had a bad game. He finished with 34 points. That is good. That's only bad if you do it on low efficiency. So the point he just made right there didn't make any sense. That doesn't make sense. That's like if a nigga dropped 50 points, but he got all 50 points in the first half, and then for the rest of the game, he didn't even score. The nigga still had 50. What the fuck?
6 of 14 shooting, finishes with 15 points, couldn't really get off all night. Jordan Poole, absolutely awful in his first finals game. 2 for 7 shooting from the field, 9 points for the game. No factor offensively whatsoever.
I think the real story here, it isn't Curry. Curry did his thing. I think the story here is no one fucking helped. I remember at the end of the first quarter, Curry had 21 points. I think Draymond had 6, and then Klay had 5, and everybody else had fucking zeros. Literally no one helped Curry. Curry needs some help out there. But it's only game 1. I wouldn't sweat it. I'd still say Warriors in 5.
Was frustrated all night long, and the Boston Celtics went on a 17-0 run and outscored the Golden State Warriors on the Warriors' turf, 40-16 in the fourth quarter, with Jason Tatum being a facilitator, having 13 assists, but clearly not on his game offensively in terms of shooting the ball, and they still won because of Horford's shooting, because of Derek White's shooting, because of Marcus Smart's shooting, and Jaylen Brown was unstoppable, which is a bad, bad sign, because somebody in the past named Klay Thompson used to be able to at least help contain somebody of that magnitude. Wasn't able to do that tonight. Styles make fights, and the Boston Celtics showed, they are the team to be reckoned with.
I honestly don't see anything about this first game. I think the first game, the Warriors were just off. Curry did good, but everyone else was off. This first game means literally nothing. I still got Warriors in 5, and I do not believe in the Celtics at all. If anybody want to bet me, drop a comment. You can get my Cash App. Let's bet it up. I have no faith in the Celtics at all. Warriors in 5.
No joke.
No doubt. And it's as you're talking, Stephen A., Pat and I, we both got the box score here, and I'm always interested in what you guys are looking at, right? I see you guys when the press conference, you're looking at the box. What I circle, Stephen A., is this: Boston wins by 12 in a game where Jason Tatum goes 3 of 17 from the floor. Right. I get that Steve Kerr is going to frame this as a fourth quarter because that's what it was. But Boston can say, hey, we just won game 1, and our superstar had the worst game he's going to have. He's not going to have a game that bad. That has to bode well for Boston.
Yeah, of course it bodes well for Boston because
Honestly, I think that Jason Tatum playing like shit and they still get the win, I don't really think that really means anything, honestly.
Shows that they've got some depth, and these are guys that are capable of responding. But if Jason Tatum had gotten going, then probably in all likelihood a Derek White or Al Horford or somebody would not have done it. The key thing is that you couldn't stop Jason.
That's pretty much the mindset I had. What he just said. Jason Tatum played like shit, and that's why everyone else did good. That's the mindset I had. That's why I was like, it don't really mean anything, because if Tatum's not scoring, that means someone else is going to score. Same way while Curry was doing all the scoring, but nobody else was scoring. It's just a balance of flow. If Curry's dropping 21 points in the first quarter, there isn't many points left for anyone else to score. And if Tatum isn't fucking scoring, that means everyone else has to score. So it's just kind of a balance of flow. So him saying that doesn't really mean anything because it's basic fucking knowledge. If you're playing basketball and John is making all the shots, how the fuck can I score or Bob score if John doing all the scoring? It's only one basketball. So if Curry doing all the scoring, that means everybody else going to play like shit because they can't score. And if Tatum's not going to score, that means his teammates are going to score. This is just how the game goes. So when he said, I was like, that doesn't mean anything because that's common fucking knowledge. If one person's scoring, no one else will score. It's kind of how it works. So him saying that really didn't make any sense at all. He's just saying blank statements. He's not really talking. He ain't saying shit.
Jaylen Brown.
He's just
and if
speaking
you
right
can't
now.
stop Jaylen Brown,
That's a blank statement.
somebody
It don't
else
mean
on
anything.
Boston is going to get off. That's the key here. They seem too big. They seem too physical, and obviously they were more than capable of making shots. 9 threes in the fourth quarter. The Golden State Warriors made 7 shots in the entire fourth quarter. This is a very, very bad sign. The series is far from over, but I'll be redundant here. Styles make fights, and the Golden State Warriors, after one game, still look like they are in some serious trouble.
And Stephen A., I'm going to ask Pat now because we're.
Bro, Stephen A. Smith got his fucking dick in his hand. There's no way he believes the Warriors are in trouble. Stop the cap.
Both looking at
He's
this
just
box
capping it
score.
up
I
for the
circled
TV.
that number, and that's what stood out to me. I'm interested in what it is you look at in a box score, and if there's something that jumps out other than that final fourth quarter and what Boston did. Is there something that jumps out to you?
Field goal percentage, I always pay attention to. I'm sorry, Pat. Go ahead.
No. Don't ever apologize, Steve-O. Don't ever apologize. But I'm going to bring up the person who played the second most minutes in the fourth quarter, Draymond Green. Obviously, he's been playing well throughout the playoffs, coming back from an injury. But tonight, you see in the fourth quarter, 2 turnovers, 3 fouls.
Right.
1 of 2. Obviously, we're not looking for him to score 30 points, but his job is to impact winning, and his job is to impact winning at an elite level, especially when winning time is. So
go ahead, Stephen A.
He didn't come up tonight.
One of the things I noticed just being in the arena, and Bev can appreciate this.
Honestly, bro, I feel like with Draymond Green, he's going to give you that. that's just what Draymond Green is. That's just kind of what you have to. That's just kind of what you got to accept with Draymond Green. That just comes with Draymond Green. When you have Draymond Green, there's going to be games where the nigga get teched up, he gets kicked out, he has a lot of fouls. That's just Draymond Green. We all know Draymond isn't a scorer, so to hear a stat line from Draymond Green, 1 and 2, 3 fouls. He doesn't do that every game. He doesn't do it a lot. But when he does it, it's just like, that's just who he is. If you don't like it, then you got to trade him. You got to get him off your team, because when you have Draymond Green, that's just what comes with Draymond Green. It's kind of like getting a girlfriend and arguments and pettiness and aggravation. If you don't want to deal with that, stay single. That's just what comes with a girlfriend. So I don't think that really means too much.
Because of the tenacious defender he is, the professional pest that he is. You can sense blood like sharks in blood-infested waters. The Golden State Warriors had their hands on their hips. In the first quarter, they looked gassed. And when you think about that, what's the excuse for that? You had about a week off. That's not enough of an excuse. The reality of the situation is Steph, Clay, and Draymond are all in their 30s. You got Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, neither are older than 25 years of age. You're looking at the Derek Whites and others of the world getting physical, being in their face, and purposefully wearing them down. If that is the strategy, that even though he's a first-year coach as a head coach, Ime Udoka has been in championship games as an assistant. He understands what it takes, which is something he reminded folks of coming into this NBA Finals. We got to take all of that into consideration and look at the Golden State Warriors, and to me, it comes down to this. Klay Thompson and Jordan Poole.
All right, the point he's trying to make about age, that is a good point. Curry and the supporting cast, the Warriors, they're getting old. That's true. They are getting old. Tatum, the boys, they young. I'll give him that. That is a valid point. Can't back that off. Now, this whole coach shit, I ain't fucking with it. I ain't really fucking with that. But I'll give him that. It makes sense. It makes sense.
Otto Porter, Andre Iguodala, all made good contributions. But those two, Klay Thompson and Jordan Poole, have got to step up in order for the Golden State Warriors to win this series. The stats don't need to tell me that, but it did tonight.
Stephen A., appreciate you. We'll get back with you at some point, I believe, on ESPN. If not, I as always, appreciate your time. Pat, sit tight with us.
All right, that was a good video. Very informative. They said a little bullshit. They said some truth, but it didn't change my mind. Warriors in 5. I'm out this thing.